to her. And the husband turned to her and said, "This is your job now. I pass this over to you while I do other things." And so now she is the manager of 2 ponds and the manager of fish production in the household. And she also makes the decisions on how the income is generated and spent that comes out of this enterprise. In Kenya, again, we see an example of increased production, supporting decision-making and agency in households in Kenya, as well as access to increased information. And in Ghana, the formation of a women's group to act as a platform for taking on and learning about new potential crop and improved crop production techniques, biopesticides, as well as a venue for receiving climate information, is giving women increased voice and agency in the community. And this group here of women producers now has a voice in the village level, community level producer organization that it did not have before. And so we're seeing a whole range of really exciting, empowering effects. That being said, from the other slide, I will just put that back up again. From the other slide, we're seeing that there are some changes still needed in this framework. And so it would be really great to be able to work with FSRP in terms of looking at, and we've also been talking with the World Bank Gender Innovation Lab on what are the other elements that are important for gender equality and empowerment in the context of resilience, climate, and food security. And we're starting to talk about, for example, nutrition, of course, and dietary diversity, gender-based violence as an issue to be dealt with, and unpaid care work. And so we look forward to talking with you more about these issues, as well as other issues that you are focusing on in your work in your country. So thank you very much for that. And I'll pass over the screen now to Therese again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sophia, for that. At this moment, I will invite Renee to talk briefly. She doesn't have a presentation, but she'll talk briefly about Kenya because she will leave. Renee, can you just talk briefly to us about what you're doing on gender and social inclusion in Kenya? This
Sure.
is under AICCRA. Yes.
Yes. Hi, good afternoon. Thank you. I'm joining from the field, so I won't turn on my camera at the moment. Sure. So within AICCRA, we have a focus on a few areas, drought-tolerant crops being some that are known to support resilience in drylands contexts. So drought-tolerant crops have been scaled with, particularly with women, it's already known as being a woman's crop. So in that they manage many of the activities, but some of the benefits they might not necessarily control. That's the drawback. Some of the efforts have been with women demo farmers, and also efforts to increase women's participation in future market linkages. And we've also scaled into another more agro-pastoral and pastoral area this year. In Kenya, we've made a lot of efforts to increase information access. So we work very closely with the Kenya Met Department to support radio advisories and also radio drama. So using drama that incorporates agro advisories developed with KMD and other partners to get that information out along with gender messaging. So we've done that in local languages. We did this last year in one of the lower eastern counties. This year we did it in Baringo. And this year included more of the local community members with whom we're working in the development of the drama. So more of a co-design process so that it could reflect a little bit more of some of the realities that include, there's also in some of those areas, there's a reliance upon Indigenous forecasters' knowledge, which people, they do pay close attention to. So we've had some good successes in that, and we're planning very soon on documenting some of the Baringo impacts, particularly as the harvests are expected to occur in December in Baringo. So the rains, it's a bit dependent on the rains here, but in January we hope that there will be some harvests and some more impacts on production and especially food
Yes,
security.
I can hear you. Thanks.
Okay. One more thing I'd like to mention that we did this year is we supported some of in the scaling efforts, there's a lot of need to sensitize some of the agropastoral and pastoral people to some of these technologies because they're not really taken up very much in the communities where we're scaling to. So we brought some Baringo farmers down to Kitui for an exchange visit that had a lot of hands-on practical advice and learnings, including also preparation of recipes with those same crops to try to kind of inspire some interest in areas where these crops haven't really taken foot, but people really want to diversify from not just livestock, but diversify into more of the cropping. So we're looking at that and trying to look at bundled services and packages, given that it's a very different context. Some of the pastoral areas and even communal land tenure issues, how to get cropping going in those. It's a different process. So we're learning as we're going, and we hope to share some of those stories very soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Renee. At this moment, maybe we'll have the questions at the end, or should we have the questions right away? What's the proposal? Do we get the presentations first, then we ask at the end, or we ask soon after a presentation? Okay.
I think you said she's leaving, right?
Yes, she's leaving.
If she's leaving, maybe it's better just to ask whether someone has a question so that because she might not be there when we
Finish.
go into the discussion.
When are you planning to go into the discussion? Because it's always nice to have the synergies, but I can try to stick around.
Okay, then we can maybe exit. Okay, let us go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So at this moment, may I please ask from FSRP Burkina Faso?
Okay.
Yes.
Burkina Faso, Lisetta, tu es là, non? S'il te plaît, présente. Lisetta. Je voulais m'assurer que les francophones, because I had in the chat that someone was telling me that it's like the translation was not going through for the francophone. I need to make sure that they are getting the translation. Les francophones, est-ce que vous avez la traduction, s'il vous plaît? Si ce n'est pas le cas, il faut le
depuis le début de la présentation.
Ok, Lisetta, tu as la parole, s'il te plaît, le Burkina, FSRP Burkina. Let's go. For Burkina Faso, FSRP. Thank you, Thérèse. Okay, I think, okay, we are having a problem. I just received also another mail that they are not receiving the translation in French. So I don't know. What are we going to do? Okay, what I'm suggesting, just to manage the time, maybe we should go with Burkina Faso. I will try to see with the interpreter what to do.
Bonjour, du côté du Niger, j'ai bien reçu l'interprète, hein. Je ne sais pas pour les autres.
Ok, merci beaucoup, Frida. C'est bon à savoir. Bon, c'est ce que je disais tantôt. Peut-être pour gérer le temps, on va aller avec ceux qui ont déjà... Bon, le Mali n'a pas, le Sénégal a aussi dit qu'ils n'ont pas la traduction. Bon, je vais voir avec l'interprète, mais on peut déjà commencer avec le Burkina Faso. Lisette, tu es là?
Oui, je suis revenue. Je suis
Ok,
là.
bien, ok, vas-y, tu as la parole, s'il te plaît, pour qu'on puisse gérer le temps qu'on puisse gérer avec l'interprète, ceux qui n'ont pas la traduction. Le Niger dit que elle est là.
Excuse me, Dr. Mega. I'm sorry to interrupt. There is. Yes, I can hear the interpreter.
Ok, Okay, because I'm receiving, Sophia, I'm receiving.
Okay, let me speak with them. There is an interpretation link at the bottom of the menu on the right-hand side, à droite, il y a un petit button, c'est more, avec les trois périodes. If you click on this, there should be an interpretation button. So on the bottom right-hand side, more. Yeah. Okay. Can they hear? Hear? Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't know. He's going to speak now, I think.
Ok. Je disais bonsoir à tout le monde. On m'entend?
Lisa, oui, on t'entend. Vas-y, s'il te
Ah,
plaît.
d'accord. Oui, bon, c'était... Bon, j'avais demandé d'afficher. C'est pour ma présentation, non? Si c'est j'étais coupé en temps.
La présentation, est-ce que tu peux présenter directement?
Non,
Hein?
non, non.
Ah, d'accord.
Hmm.
Ok, Thérèse.
L'ordinateur
Thérèse,
refuse.
Yes, hello.
since you are the one facilitating, she's not able to present directly. Can you present, share your screen? I mean, just get the presentation and share your screen for her. This is what she's saying. Because she's not able to
The
present.
presentation is on the chat, yeah?
Yes. Lisa, tu as mis la présentation dans le chat, non? Ok.
Non,
Thérèse,
c'est à vous que j'ai partagé pour que
ok,
vous
ok,
mettiez
Thérèse, let me
dans
check
le
with
chat.
you. C'est bon, c'est pas grave, je vais partager avec elle.
Or another way would be, while she's sending the
D'accord.
presentation to me, she can send to my email.
I will do that.
Then we can take another country.
Yes. Okay. Okay, that's fine.
Ok, non.
Let's.
Ok.
Thérèse, I sent to you on your WhatsApp the presentation of Burkina Faso.
What's up? Okay.
Okay, let's move on, please. Lisa, tu peux nous envoyer ça par email, s'il te plaît, pour ne pas qu'on perde du temps.
It's opening.
Ok, c'est bon. Merci.
So I'll just beam to present, isn't it?
Yes, and then she will, yes.
Okay. Is it showing now?
Yes. Thank you so much, Thérèse.
Okay.
Can you put it in?
Yes, I can see it on my side.
C'est bon. Wonderful.
Mm.
Lisa, tu peux aller, s'il te plaît? On a un problème de temps.
Ok, merci à tout le monde. Ok, et si on peut aller déjà à la mot diapo, s'il vous plaît.
Thérèse,
Et
can you put it in the presentation mode?
voilà, c'est trois expériences que je voulais partager avec vous, que le Burkina a
Ok.
mises en œuvre.
Mhm. Vas-y. Thérèse, next,
Ok,
please. Yes, c'est bon.
ok. Voilà, je disais qu'il s'agit de trois cas. Diapo, le premier cas, c'est dans le cas des matching grounds. En tout cas, je prononce mal en anglais. Et en français, on appelle micro-projet. Donc, le Burkina Faso a financé des micro-projets portés par des femmes et des jeunes. Il faut dire que la description du processus, ce fut un appel à candidature et les, les bénéficiaires ont été identifiés et sélectionnés et s'en est suivi le financement de leurs micro-projets. Il faut dire que c'est un ensemble de 319 porteurs de micro-projets qui ont été financés et dont 85 femmes et 90 jeunes. Voilà, ils sont actuellement en train de mettre en œuvre leurs micro-projets. Les micro-projets vont de la production, couvrent toutes les chaînes de valeur, production, transformation et commercialisation. Dans les filières du PRSA, notamment le riz, le maïs et la PDCO, le moringa, les fruits et légumes, c'est-à-dire tomates et oignons, et aussi la mangue. Donc, pour vous présenter, actuellement, ils sont en train de mettre en œuvre et nous les accompagnons également en termes de renforcement de capacité. Diapo, voici un peu les images des réalisations, notamment des femmes et des jeunes. Diapo, s'il vous plaît.
Next,
C'est
please.
les photos des... On m'entend?
Thérèse, next, please.
It's
On
slow.
m'entend bien?
Slow. It's not
Ah,
good.
it is
Allô?
not.
Yeah, it's slow.
Ok, elle dit que c'est bloqué d'abord. Ok, c'est bon.
There. This one. This one now.
Next, please.
This is the one.
C'est bon? Lisette, c'est ça?
Allô?
Oui, c'est bon.
Allô?
This is the slide you want.
Oui,
Ok,
c'est ça. Ce sont les images des réalisations. La première photo, c'est... D'accord. OK. C'est des réalisations faites. La première image, c'est des chambres froides. Et après, c'est des productions de moringa. Comme vous voyez la dame dans son champ et aussi sur la moto. Et c'est pour transporter l'eau. Donc, c'est des équipements qu'ils ont acquis et des investissements qu'ils sont en train de mettre en œuvre. Il y a des diapos suivants. Ça aussi, c'est des sessions de renforcement des capacités, notamment des transformatrices, dans le cadre de ces micro-projets pour sur les normes. Donc, on peut aller sur le deuxième cas, s'il vous plaît.
next, please. Vas-y.
OK. En attendant que les diapositives suivent, je vais peut-être aller avec le deuxième cas. Il s'agit de ce qu'on appelle
Next, please, Thérèse.
c'est bon?
Oui, c'est bon. Next, please, Thérèse.
Allô?
Oui, elle va présenter. Ne t'inquiète
Voilà,
pas.
ça, ce sont les renforcements des capacités. On peut aller au cas suivant.
Next, please.
Okay, next one. Okay. This one?
Yes, I think so.
Il faut dire aussi que dans le cadre du renforcement du... Allô?
On t'entend, s'il te plaît. Vas-y, on t'entend bien.
Bon, je vais aller, comme j'ai la présentation sous mes yeux, je vais aller, peut-être que les diapos vont suivre. Et c'est la formation sur la transformation de nos produits à haute valeur nutritive, notamment le niébé, niébé, moringa et PDCO, que le PRSA, en tout cas, soutient. Et il faut dire que ce fut une série de formations, des formatrices, et notamment 112, y compris des PDI, qui à leur tour ont mené des séances de diffusion dans les villages. Et au-delà de cela, ça a été accompagné aussi par des émissions radio pour sensibiliser également sur les bonnes pratiques sur toute la chaîne de production alimentaire. Donc, vous voyez les photos qui suivent. Le troisième cas, c'est ce qu'on a appelé panier de résilience. On a identifié des ménages vulnérables que nous avons appuyés. Et dans ces ménages, il y a 18 femmes, voilà, qui sont chefs de ménage. Et nous les avons appuyés à travers, avec des intrants notamment semences, engrais, et on a en tout cas labouré leurs champs, accompagné. Donc, ils ont pu emblaver 2 hectares de maïs et 1 hectare de niébé. Voilà, et avec l'appui des agents sur le terrain pour l'appui technique. Donc, ils ont été accompagnés dans la mise en œuvre et dans la production au niveau des champs. Et vous voyez les photos des champs et aussi des productions qu'ils ont pu récolter. Donc, avec les témoignages qu'ils font, ils ont pu avoir en tout cas de quantités importantes en termes de production. Et il faut dire que ces ménages seront accompagnés pour 3 ans. Voilà, c'est principalement dans 3 de nos régions d'intervention. Donc, bon, merci. Très rapidement, voici ces 3 points que je voulais présenter. Merci. S'il y a des questions, je suis disponible.
Merci beaucoup, Lisata. Thérèse, she's done. This is the presenter of Burkina Faso. Over to you.
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll have the questions at the end, as we have agreed. So, yes, so at this moment, I would like to ask Mali FSRP to present, please.
OK. FSRP Mali, s'il vous plaît, présentez.
Oui, oui, allô, ok, bonjour. Je vais essayer de faire la présentation du Mali. Vous voyez mon écran?
Oui, oui, nous sommes terminés. Au revoir.
Ok. Bonsoir tout le monde. Bon, au niveau du Mali, je serai un peu bref, concis et précis. C'est pour vous dire que comme la composante dans son ensemble couvre, on a 5 grandes composantes, mais la composante de mise en œuvre des activités techniques et formation, c'est 3 composantes. Ouais, au niveau de la composante 1, qui est service de conseil numérique pour la prévention et de la gestion des crises agricoles. Nous avons eu également à former des femmes avec l'Office de protection des végétaux. Vous voyez, à peu près sur les 30 agents formés, il y a 5 femmes qui ont bénéficié de cette
Excusez-moi de vous
formation.
interrompre. On n'a pas votre présentation. La
J'ai
présentation
envoyé,
en mode, on ne l'a pas. Ouvrez le document. On ne l'a pas.
Ah, ok.
Ouvrez la présentation.
Vous voyez l'écran?
Oui, mais vous n'avez pas encore cliqué sur le PowerPoint. Cliquez, ouvrez le PowerPoint.
Merci,
C'est moi,
allez-y.
c'est ouvert. Attendez. Ici.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez fait un partage? Parce que si on ne fait pas le partage, on ne va pas passer.
Sinon, j'ai partagé. Bon, je l'ai déjà sur mon écran.
Nous, on n'a pas ça. Est-ce que vous avez envoyé la traduction? Vous avez envoyé le document dans le chat, comme on l'a demandé? Vous l'avez fait?
Oui, est-ce que j'ai envoyé en première position même d'ailleurs. J'ai envoyé ça.
Bon,
Ouais,
Thérèse, we are having a problem with Mali, just to manage the time. The presentation is in the chat. Can you please open and share your screen, please? Thérèse, please help.
Vous voyez?
Let me check.
Oui,
Oh,
maintenant c'est bon.
C'est
now it's
envoyé, c'est
showing.
déjà
It has
envoyé.
come
Je l'ai
now.
envoyé il y a longtemps.
Oui, j'ai dit non, on n'avait pas ça. C'est bon maintenant. C'est bon maintenant. C'est la première, c'est le premier slide.
Oui, non, ça c'est voilà, vous voyez, ça c'est c'est la première.
On
Vous voyez?
voit très bien. Maintenant c'est bon. Allez-y.
Merci bien. Comme j'aime voilà, pour ne pas tout dire. Donc, dans l'ensemble, on a la composante 1 qui est sur le service et conseil numérique, prévention pour l'information agricole. Nous avons eu également à former sur les 36 agents formés dans le cadre de la protection des végétaux. 5 femmes ont participé à la formation, qui ont bénéficié vraiment de cette formation. Elles sont aptes maintenant à appliquer cette technique. Il y a également sur les 50 brigadiers formés d'intervention villageoise phytosanitaire. Nous avons eu également, dans l'ensemble, c'est 215 femmes qui ont participé comme brigadiers dans le cadre de la formation phytosanitaire. Nous avons également apporté d'appui de surveillance et de traitement d'infestation des ravageurs, en collaboration bien sûr avec les services techniques. Les traducteurs, je pense que je ne suis pas trop rapide. Si je suis rapide, vous m'arrêtez. Sur les 1200 producteurs, dont nous avons 187 femmes vraiment qui ont contracté cette formation et qui ont contracté pour la production du maïs. Pour la production du riz, sur 366 producteurs, c'est 189 femmes qui, soit 50%. Il en est de même pour la production maraîchère. Sur 607 producteurs qui ont bénéficié de l'appui à la réalisation, c'est 342 femmes, soit 56%. Donc, c'est pour dire, c'est la raison pour laquelle au départ, je disais que dans l'ensemble, on a la composante 2 qui est la durabilité, la capacité d'adaptation à la base. Donc, je vais essayer d'être un peu, je viendrai au niveau de ce tableau-là qui est bien, un peu mieux édifié. Vous allez voir, ça est formation, surtout les femmes, formation sur le flux de protection, on a sur les, vous voyez, 27. D'accord, ok. Je disais concernant pour la protection, l'office de protection des végétaux, nous avons 5 femmes qui ont bénéficié de la formation, en total sur les 32. Maintenant, dans le cadre du groupement locaux d'assistance météorologique avec Glam Mali Météo, nous avons organisé des sessions de renforcement des capacités et de formation. C'est 135 femmes qui ont bénéficié de cette formation sur les 450 participants. Maintenant, dans le cadre également de la diffusion des instruments de sauvegarde environnementale et sociale, sur les 191 femmes participantes, il y a 18 qui sont vraiment des femmes responsables qui ont bénéficié de cet outil de diffusion. Maintenant, dans le cadre de la distribution des semences, nous avons eu à distribuer des semences. En tout, c'est 4360 tonnes de semences qui ont été distribuées, sur lesquelles 58 108 femmes ont bénéficié vraiment de cette distribution de semences. Nous avons également organisé des ateliers d'organisation avec les élus communaux sur l'information et la communication météorologique. Ça, bon, lors de cet atelier, il n'y a pas eu de participation des femmes, ça, il faut le dire. Maintenant, dans le cadre également, c'est-à-dire des acteurs publics privés, dans le cadre également du commerce des intrants agricoles, nous avons également fait des rencontres, des ateliers de partage d'expériences et de renforcement des capacités. Sur les 25 personnes, les 4 sont des femmes qui ont bénéficié de cette formation. C'est des femmes qui sont responsables, qui font du commerce agricole. Dans le cadre également de la concertation sur les normes et réglementations des intrants et des produits agricoles, nous avons également formé 60 personnes sur lesquelles 10 femmes responsables ont participé également à cette formation et elles sont aptes également à vraiment à maîtriser les normes et les réglementations des intrants des produits agricoles. Maintenant, dans le cadre également des droits et taxes appliqués sur les produits agricoles, c'est une activité qui a été menée en composante 1 sur 25 personnes, 25 participants et sur lesquels nous avons 4 femmes qui ont bénéficié de cette formation. D'importation et exportation également des produits agricoles et intrants lors d'un acteur d'identification des besoins. Nous avons eu à rencontrer 22 acteurs sur lesquels ces femmes qui ont vraiment participé et puis ils ont exprimé leurs besoins et sur lesquels elles ont bénéficié de la formation. Maintenant, au niveau du système alimentaire ayant accès aux services de conseil hydro-agricole, agro-hydrométéorologique, qui rentre en jeu avec la composante 1, dans les 6 cercles d'intervention du FSRP Mali, sur 183 820 personnes, il y a à peu près 42 970 femmes qui ont vraiment accès à l'information, au conseil numérique, au conseil agro-hydrométéorologique. Donc, c'est pour vous dire qu'elles sont informées à millième près pour les informations, surtout avec l'hivernage. Ça a été même, on peut même dire qu'ici, ça a été un facteur favorisant à ce que les femmes puissent prendre des dispositions, qu'elles ont écouté également l'information de la météo. Ça les a un peu également, ça a été vraiment une valeur ajoutée pour qu'elles puissent pas être affrontées à cette inondation sur laquelle vraiment qui a un peu abattu certains de nos champs dans certaines zones d'intervention. Donc, c'est pour vous dire que les femmes écoutent attentivement l'information agro-hydrométéorologique. Donc, ça a été une valeur ajoutée pour elles. Maintenant, dans le cadre également, nous avons eu également à former des groupements de femmes et jeunes sur la production sémencière et la création de business dans les secteurs sémenciers, dans les régions de Ségou et Kouchala. Donc, sur les 172 participants, les 68 sont des femmes. Maintenant, formation également en collaboration avec l'Office de protection des végétaux, Nous avons eu à former 30 participants, sur lesquels 5 femmes ont bénéficié de cette formation de renforcement des capacités phytosanitaires. Dans le cadre également de la distribution des engrais, nous avons le PRSA Mali a distribué à peu près 8564 d'engrais organiques gratuitement, sur lesquels ces 9232 femmes ont bénéficié, en tout sur les 8564 personnes bénéficiaires. Donc, c'est pour vous dire que les femmes sont vraiment... Maintenant, dans le cadre également d'engrais chimiques, l'engrais chimique, c'est toute une panoplie, c'est tout un arsenal du système qui est mis en place, à peu près sur lesquels, à peu près, il y a eu 150 bénéficiaires. Donc, c'est 61 709 femmes qui ont vraiment bénéficié de l'engrais chimique qui a été subventionné par l'État. Donc, les femmes également ont été vraiment prises en compte. Maintenant, dans le cadre de la restauration des terres dégradées qui entre en jeu avec la composante 2, ce qu'on appelle communément la gestion durable des terres et des eaux, nous avons eu également aménagé 2000 hectares.
S'il vous plaît,
Oui.
désolé de vous interrompre. On n'a pas, vous a pas demandé de présenter l'état de mise en œuvre des plans d'action genre, mais au moins deux cas de succès. Parce que si, il faut, moi je pense que vous l'avez rentré directement, parce qu'on a un problème de temps. Les autres pays, vous avez vu le Burkina, c'est 2 ou 3, ce ne sera pas les photos. On n'a pas dû de présenter l'état de mise en œuvre des, non. Si on devait le faire, on ne va pas quitter ici. Allez-y, voilà, maintenant allez-y rapidement à ce que vous avez identifié comme cas de succès. On aura l'occasion, comme vous savez, on a nos réunions pour discuter de l'état de mise. Donc, ne vous inquiétez pas, vous aurez cette occasion. Je vous en prie, allez directement au cas de succès. Merci beaucoup.
Au cas de succès, on peut noter 3 points essentiels.
Très bien.
C'est ce que j'avais expliqué dans le tableau. Okay. La prise en compte des femmes dans la mise en œuvre des activités de restauration des terres dégradées, sur lesquelles on a 944 femmes ont participé à la formation et puis ils ont bénéficié de la formation, ils ont été également payés pour la restauration de leur activité. Maintenant, nous avons également, je disais, dans le cadre de la distribution des engrais, 18 011 femmes ont bénéficié de l'engrais chimique. Et puis, il y a 9 232 femmes aussi qui ont bénéficié d'engrais organiques gratuitement. Voilà, ça c'est la deuxième activité. Troisièmement, nous avons également procédé à la formation des groupements des femmes et des jeunes sur les techniques de production sémencière et de la création de business dans leur secteur sémencier. Voilà, c'est les 3 grands cas pour lesquels on peut dire qu'on a eu vraiment des résultats très satisfaisants.
Merci beaucoup. C'est ce qu'on vraiment attend de vous. Merci beaucoup vraiment. Et encore félicitations.
Merci.
Over to you, please. Over to you, Thérèse. The Mali is done.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mali. Can I invite Niger, FSRP.
Le Niger a la parole.
Oui, docteur.
Yeah, Niger, after Niger, there will be Togo. Now Niger.
Niger, yes. Let's go for Niger.
D'accord, je cherche à partager. Même quelqu'un peut partager de l'autre côté. J'essaie de partager le document.
Ok. Tu l'as envoyé dans le chat?
Oui, j'ai envoyé à Shafai depuis. Il dit qu'il a partagé.
Ok. Est-ce que, Thérèse, do you have the presentation of Niger?
It's in the chat?
Yes. Est-ce que ça est dans le chat?
C'est bon?
Yeah, c'est bon.
C'est bon?
Oui,
c'est bon. C'est bon.
D'accord. Bonsoir tout le monde.
S'il te plaît, il faut mettre
pour le Niger, donc on a identifié 2 cas de succès dans la mise en œuvre de notre plan d'action genre que je compte partager avec vous. Alors, comme premier succès, vraiment pour nous, c'est la formation genre des acteurs du niveau national sur la mise en œuvre des activités du programme. Cette activité a pour objectif donc de conduire une formation genre des institutions et acteurs impliqués dans le PRSA Niger et de donner l'appui technique en même temps en marge de l'atelier à chaque expert de l'unité de gestion du programme pour aider à la prise en compte systématique des dimensions genre et jeunes dans tous les projets, sous-projets et activités financés par le programme. Cette activité, donc l'atelier de formation des acteurs nationaux, on a eu après cette activité comme résultat donc le renforcement de capacité des institutions et acteurs du FSRP Niger sur la prise en compte de la dimension genre et jeune. Cet atelier de formation donc a touché 17 structures partenaires, que ce soit les institutions de recherche, les différents ministères partenaires, agriculture, élevage, commerce, etc., la société civile, le réseau des chambres d'agriculture, la plateforme paysanne, avec au total 32 participants, dont 15 hommes et 17 femmes. Donc, à la fin de l'atelier de formation, j'allais oublier de le dire, animé par la conseillère genre de CORAF du niveau régional, il y a eu un appui technique rapproché avec l'unité de coordination du programme. Donc, ça a permis de faire la revue des activités des experts, composante par composante, donc les trois composantes techniques, les experts transversaux, suivi, évaluation, les services financiers, la communication, les passations de marché. Avec l'ensemble de ces experts, les points d'entrée genre ont été identifiés pour assurer la prise en compte de ces dimensions dans chacune des activités de ces experts-là. Le point de succès de cette activité, c'est que ça me facilite désormais mon travail. Tous les experts responsables de composantes et transversaux savent désormais quels sont les points d'entrée genre, et quels sont les boulots d'étranglement qu'on peut avoir, que moi je peux avoir si eux ne prennent pas en compte certaines dimensions dans leurs activités. Suite à ça, l'activité phare qu'on a pu conduire d'ailleurs avec les services financiers, c'est le recrutement d'une assistante financière. On a discuté avec la conseillère au moment des échanges et grâce à l'argumentaire, on a pu à travers la discrimination positive, recruter une assistante financière pour une de nos antennes où on avait un problème. Le problème, c'était que c'est une région reculée et aussi où il y a beaucoup d'insécurité. Et quand on recrute les assistants, les gens postulent juste parce qu'ils n'ont pas eu ailleurs. Ils vont au bout de 2, 3 mois, dès qu'ils trouvent un autre poste ailleurs, ils quittent. Ce qui a fait qu'on a vraiment des difficultés à maintenir les assistants financiers recrutés pour cette région-là. Et donc, au dernier recrutement, il y avait une seule femme candidate. Elle a été classée selon les expériences et autres, quatrième, mais c'était la seule femme. Et l'avantage pour celle-là, c'est qu'elle vit déjà dans la région et qu'elle a fait son stage au niveau de l'antenne. Donc, avec l'appui de niveau régional de la conseillère, docteur Maïga, j'ai argumenté et appuyé au niveau de la banque et cette dame-là a été retenue. Elle a pris fonction et elle a commencé déjà à travailler. Comme deuxième activité à succès, c'est l'identification des acteurs dans les chaînes de valeur du Niger. Pour le Niger, c'est le niébé, l'oignon, bétail, viande et lait. Donc, l'objectif de l'activité est d'identifier les actrices des chaînes de valeur cibles du projet selon les maillons, de la production, la transformation à la commercialisation. Alors, pour cette année, nous avons pu identifier 2600 femmes transformatrices qui sont dans les chaînes de valeur qu'on compte appuyer en kit de transformation. On les a identifiées, on a échangé avec eux à travers les missions pour savoir quelles sont les difficultés qu'elles rencontrent, quels seraient leurs besoins d'appui pour améliorer donc leur activité. Donc, à cette date, On a pu faire l'acquisition des kits d'appui selon les besoins exprimés par ces bénéficiaires-là pour 761 femmes dans deux régions d'intervention, donc 500 femmes à Tawa, 261 à Zender. Ça, les kits sont en train d'être acheminés à partir depuis le mardi passé au niveau des communes et les bénéficiaires vont les recevoir. Et d'ici décembre, le reste des femmes vont bénéficier également de leur kit. Pourquoi on est en train de faire par tranche ou en scindant l'acquisition, c'est pour éviter la lourdeur dans les passations de marché. Quand le montant est trop élevé, il y a beaucoup de procédures à respecter qui peuvent durer des mois avant qu'on puisse acquérir donc les kits et mettre à la disposition des femmes. C'est pourquoi on a voulu scinder de telle sorte qu'on puisse faire les acquisitions au niveau des régions, de chaque région, et puis remettre donc à ces femmes-là. Voilà un peu brièvement les deux points de succès que je voulais partager avec vous cet après-midi. Merci.
Merci beaucoup au Niger. OK, Thérèse, Niger is done. Over to you.
Ok, merci beaucoup.
Je vous en prie.
May I now call Togo? After
Ok,
Togo, there'll be Chad. Chad, after Togo.
ok. Bonsoir à tous. J'ai
Merci.
partagé un lien, une vidéo à Chafa. Je ne sais pas s'il pourra euh, partager la vidéo, mais bien avant, peut-être je vais débriefer sur le contenu de la vidéo. Et ça
OK.
concerne Chafaï, il est connecté, non? Est-ce qu'il a la vidéo?
Chafai doit être connecté. Chafai, tu es là, n'est-ce pas? Tu peux aider le Togo, Chafai?
Ou alors je vais essayer, je vais essayer de partager la vidéo.
Il faut essayer.
Vous voyez
Merci.
mon écran?
Pas encore. Oui, je sentais le venir, mais pas encore. Je sentais le venir. Oui.
J'essaye de jouer.
En train de venir. Furera, peut-être qu'il faut te déconnecter, Furera.
Hmm.
Freddy, tu peux aller un peu vite?
Oui. Bon, la vidéo a commencé bien avant. Bon, je sais pas, vous arrivez à voir la vidéo, l'écran, c'est visible? Vous voyez l'écran?
Able to see her screen. Yes, we can see the screen. Yes, now we
Okay.
can see the video.
Donc, yes, I can begin it now.
Je pense que maintenant c'est bon. Vas-y.
Allô? Ok, d'accord. Il s'agit d'une activité que nous avions menée depuis 2022 et qui concerne le renforcement de capacité de plus de 20 000 femmes sur la transformation des denrées à haute valeur nutritionnelle. Donc, après la formation et les différentes formations que nous leur avons données, nous les avons renforcées en matériel, kits culinaires pour la transformation de ces denrées-là. Et parmi ces femmes-là, il y en a certains qui ont fait de ces activités une activité génératrice de revenus où nous avons pu produire des success stories autour de ces femmes-là qui ont pu assimiler la formation et faire de ces formations une activité génératrice. Donc, je vais vous inviter à suivre cette première vidéo sur le cas des femmes transformatrices des denrées à haute valeur nutritionnelle.
La vidéo ne marche pas, hein. Tu peux mettre ça en haut.
Il n'y a pas le son?
La vidéo ne marche même pas du tout. C'est arrêté en fait. Non, j'imagine ça doit être
Arrêtez.
très bien.
Qu'elle soit agricultrice, revendeuse, mère au foyer ou simplement sans profession, ces femmes ont toutes fait une rencontre qui a impacté significativement leur vie, la redécouverte du soja sous un nouveau jour. La transformation de ces denrées alimentaires en divers produits dérivés par le biais des techniques nouvelles a manifestement marqué ces vaillantes dames. Voici leur histoire. Source de protéines végétales, le soja est une légumineuse et riche en minéraux. Avec des valeurs nutritionnelles élevées et une disponibilité évidente dans les zones rurales, son utilisation dans les ménages s'avère capitale à l'amélioration de la capacité de résilience des populations face aux problèmes d'insécurité alimentaire et de malnutrition. C'est pourquoi le programme de résilience du système alimentaire en Afrique de l'Ouest, Projet Togo, a soutenu une série de formations des femmes leaders et femmes des groupes organisés sur la transformation de certaines denrées alimentaires, notamment le soja. À Naki Est, Douti Warpoa gagne sa vie en commercialisant le fromage de soja, une activité qui lui permettait difficilement de s'en sortir. Cependant, depuis la découverte d'un nouveau procédé qui améliore la qualité de son produit, ses ventes ont considérablement augmenté.
Avant, quand on utilisait le soja pour faire le fromage, on ne traitait pas ça. Le soja là était lourd. Quand les gens mangeaient ça, ce n'était pas doux. Quand je faisais ça, je n'avais pas de bénéfice. Donc c'était difficile de pouvoir subir à mes besoins dans la famille. Quand on faisait un bol en achetant l'huile, les tomates, tout, à la fin, tu as seulement que 3 000. Maintenant, quand on a eu la formation, quand on prend le soja, un bol, on traite ça bien, on fait le fromage là, c'est bien léger, c'est doux quoi. On trouve vraiment beaucoup de clientèle. On peut gagner 6 000, 7 000. J'ai acheté un carnet, je cotise par jour. Et puis, à base de ça, même si l'enfant est malade et le mari n'est pas là, je cours, je vais, je prends l'argent, je traite l'enfant. Et le mari est content parce que moi aussi, je mets un peu dans les dépenses de la famille.
Cette autonomisation acquise d'Outi Warpoa la doit visiblement aux nouvelles techniques apprises lors de sa formation. Si elle transforme son soja en fromage, ce n'est pas le cas de toutes les bénéficiaires. À Tondjoaré, Dame Yomé a fait un choix différent, le lait de soja.
Moi spécialement, c'est le lait que je fais. Je vends au CG à l'école primaire. Avant, le lait de soja, je le faisais autrement. Mais aujourd'hui, grâce à cette formation, le lait que je fais pour amener à l'école, vendre aux enfants, est du bon lait. Et je reçois beaucoup de bénéfices dedans.
La transformation du soja améliore indéniablement le quotidien de ces femmes. Les bonnes pratiques liées à son traitement se ressentent dans la santé, surtout des enfants qui, désormais mieux nourris, restent à l'abri de certaines maladies.
Avant, quand on faisait avant, si l'enfant prend, l'enfant l'a fait la diarrhée. Même maintenant, si l'enfant prend, l'enfant ne fait plus la diarrhée.
Cette bouillie que les enfants savourent avec autant d'appétit, c'est à base de la farine de soja qu'elle est réalisée. Une farine enrichie qui devient le fonds de commerce de Prénam et son groupement de femmes. Le conditionnement de cette farine a séduit une nouvelle clientèle avec pour conséquence directe une augmentation des bénéfices.
L'innovation qu'on a apportée, ça fait que nous avons plus de clients, donc ça nous a augmenté aussi notre chiffre d'affaires. Avant la formation, je peux dire que par jour, c'est avec peine qu'on vendait 3 000 ou bien 4 000. Mais maintenant, on peut arriver à vendre 15 000 par jour.
Cette augmentation des revenus induit sans aucun doute un impact réel dans la vie de ces femmes. C'est le cas de Limang Pied-Pâté, qui autrefois sans emploi, a pu commencer une activité génératrice de revenus.
Je m'appelle Limang Pebate. Je viens du village de Chikawa. Je ne faisais pas le fromage de soja, mais avec la formation, j'ai commencé par faire le soja et j'ai trouvé qu'il y a vraiment un gagne-pain dedans. Ça m'a aidé à payer la scolarité de mes enfants, aider mon mari aussi à acheter des engrais. Vraiment, la formation, c'est une bonne chose.
Avec son profil nutrition remarquable, le soja reste un allié de santé qui mérite sa place dans une alimentation variée et équilibrée. Cependant, pour une meilleure complémentarité alimentaire, la formation a pris en compte la transformation d'autres denrées, notamment la patate douce à chair orange pour son taux élevé en bêta-carotène et sa richesse en vitamine A, mais aussi les feuilles de moringa qui corrigent le capital sanguin en luttant contre l'anémie. En somme, 128 personnes, dont 86 femmes formatrices, ont été formées. Elles ont formé à leur tour 833 personnes, dont 737 femmes. À ce jour, plus de 20 609 personnes sont touchées par la formation lors des séances de démonstration culinaire dans les 3 régions concernées, à savoir la région centrale, la région de la Cara et celle des savanes.
Ok. Et voici donc...
allez-y, compte tenu du temps,
oui.
Je pense que c'est suffisant,
Oui.
là, c'est suffisant pour le Togo.
Togo, d'accord. D'accord. Non, comme j'ai déjà partagé des diapos, mais comme ça, là, ça fait déjà 6 minutes. Voilà un cas de succès que nous avions voulu, et bien sûr, partager avec vous. Nous sommes aussi en train de réaliser certaines vidéos sur d'autres appuis que nous avons apportés auprès des pépiniéristes, dont certains groupements de femmes qui ont bénéficié de la formation aussi, et puis des équipements. Et qu'est-ce qu'il y a eu à avoir comme impact ou amélioration?
Ok, vas-y rapidement alors. Vas-y.
Oui, ce sera un diapo. Chef, est-ce que tu peux partager le fichier Success Story pépiniériste?
Chafai? Chafai?
Ou alors, je vais essayer de partager ça.
Tu peux essayer de partager, allez-y.
Je suis en train de chercher, c'est dans le... J'appelle mes filles pour partager directement. Ok, est-ce que vous avez vous voyez l'écran avec moi?
Oui. Vas-y.
Ok. Donc, nous avons en 2022 accompagné disons 159 pépiniéristes sur la formation, sur la préparation des substrats, la multiplication des plants et la gestion de l'irrigation et la nutrition des plantes. Et donc, nous avons, après formation, fait une descente sur le terrain cette année pour voir après cette formation quels sont les changements que ces bénéficiaires-là de ces formations ont pu avoir comme changement dans leur activité. Il faut préciser qu'en 2022, après cette formation, 2023, ils ont eu des équipements tels que les motopompes, les brouettes et autres. Et donc, nous avons eu un entretien avec une dame, une mère de famille qui est présidente d'une coopérative de pépiniéristes et qui emploie aujourd'hui 6 personnes grâce à l'appui du projet. Et au départ, cette dame-là produisait 5000 plants et avec l'appui du projet FSRP, elle produit aujourd'hui 20 000 plants et elle a pu même, grâce à la vente de ces plants, acquérir un terrain où elle fait le maraîchage. Donc, c'est ce cas que je voulais aussi partager avec vous. Et autour de toutes ces femmes-là qui ont reçu ces appuis en plan pour les questions de pépinière, pour la vente des plants, nous sommes en train de produire une vidéo sur ces femmes-là qui ont reçu ces formations, ces équipements et qui constatent déjà un changement dans leur quotidien. Bon, je ne vais pas trop être longue. Voilà un peu un autre cas de succès que j'ai voulu partager avec vous.
OK. OK, merci beaucoup au Togo. Thérèse, over to you. Togo is done.
Thank you so much, Togo. Merci beaucoup. May I invite now Chad? After Chad, it's Ghana, then Sierra Leone.
OK. Le Tchad est là? Le Tchad, I'm not sure Chad is here. So let's go with Ghana.
Okay. Ghana then. After Ghana, Sierra Leone.
Yes. Thank you so much. Then they will prepare. Ghana, Imelda was supposed to travel, and then she sent a presentation. I think I shared with you. So I don't know if she managed to join us. Imelda, are you around? She was traveling, she told me. So can we move on with then Sierra Leone? Sierra Leone, over to you, Finda. Finda. Linda. Okay, as what we can do, please just try to share the presentation of Ghana and then I will present on the FDF before Sierra Leone get ready.
Oh, okay. Let me try to open it.
Joseph just sent a chat on Teams saying that he can hear us. What did you want to ask him to do? Maybe I can tell him.
Sophia, come again. I didn't get you.
Hey, Joseph contacted me on chat, and he says he can hear us.
Okay.
Shall I ask him to present?
Yeah, she's the one. She's the one. Ask her to present, please.
Yeah, okay. I sent him a chat for that. Therese, did he share his presentation with you? He says he shared it.
Yes.
Joseph,
can you hear me now?
Yes.
I have to check.
Okay, it might be in the chat. Is it in the chat?
No, not in the chat, by email.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, Finda. Just go ahead and try to share your presentation, please. Or you want us to share it?
Yes, please. But let me try and see.
I didn't receive your presentation. I don't know, when did you send it?
Okay. It's connected. Can you see it?
Okay. Not yet.
Not yet. Hello?
Yes, Finda.
Still not yet.
Are you sharing the screen? Are you on share?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you share from your side? Maybe I'm not doing the right thing.
I
I'm
didn't
not
receive
sure.
it. So can you put it in the chat? Did you put it in the chat?
No. I
Okay.
sent it by email. In the chat, I don't know how to do it.
Okay. Okay, can you send it to me by WhatsApp, and I will share with Therese, please.
WhatsApp. Well, can you be presenting Ghana to save time?
Yes, but I don't know, when did you send it? Let me check, because I didn't see it, the presentation from you.
I sent it whilst the meeting was going on because I started having internet challenges.
Okay.
So I was afraid.
Let me see then. Oh.
I sent it at 1:41.
Yes. Oh. Okay. I got it. Let me share with Therese.
Thank you. Because
Okay,
the internet is not stable, the light too is not stable. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Therese, please check.
Just nice.
The one I have now is the one that was sent at 4:40. I don't have this one.
Yes, I sent yours later.
No, because what's the title? It's in French? It's in French.
Successes. 2 key successes of implementation of the agenda.
It's in English.
Implementation. 2 key
Yes, please.
successes.
It is English, the Sierra Leone.
And then it's not yet here. The one I have from you, Dr. Maiga, is the one that has cast
No,
the
this one I sent it to you, Therese. Finda. It's for Finda Joseph. I sent it directly to you.
Okay. All right. Opening it, PowerPoint. Okay, let me open it. I've seen in my email. I was checking in WhatsApp.
Okay. My WhatsApp is not connected to my laptop. Okay.
We really apologize. This is the lesson learned. Next time, we'll just ask for all of the presentation before we start the webinar. We really
And it's
apologize for
very
that.
slow.
This is a lesson learned for all of us.
On screen, so I don't know what's happening. So can I just present and you follow the presentation?
Please go ahead.
Because it's slow also from my side. It's slow to
Go
download.
ahead.
Okay, sorry about it. So for the key, good afternoon. For the key implementation, which is directly under my purview, I'll give two of them that have been done. The others are actually to be implemented under the other components 1, component 2, component 3, and the ILM, but I'll just go through the two major ones. One is the seed value chain training for women and youth dealers and outgoers. This was done in two venues, McKinney and Bo. We brought people from the different regions, and in that meeting we had 30 male youths, 37% adults females, and 8% adults male. So like from that training, the key successes were that these people that we have trained should be brought together and be part of the integrated landscape management communities and the innovation platform.
Dear Therese.
Yes, hello.
Okay, I will suggest we go with AICCRA countries, and then if time allows, then we come back to FSRP, remaining only 2 countries, if I'm not, so it's okay, we can manage. So just go ahead with AICCRA countries so that we manage the time.
So I'll stop sharing then. Okay.
Yeah. Please just stop sharing. She's having some internet connection, so it's okay. It's okay. We'll manage. Just go with AICCRA countries. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll start with Mali, and then after that, Sophia, you present on Ghana. Then I'll present under Zambia.
Okay.
Kenya has presented. So these are the presentations we have today under AICCRA.
Okay.
Yes. So Mali. Fatoumata.
Yes, Therese.
Yes, can you present, please? Otherwise, I can share the screen from my side. You just talk, you'll be talking. Fatoumata, you can present now.
Yes, okay. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I'm going to share two success stories from AICCRA gender activity in Mali. Okay. Next is the one is the introduction of GM rice parboiling technology to women cooperative in the AICCRA area of Mali. The second one will be the provision of climate adapted seed to women and youth cooperative in the project area. Next, please. Next, Therese.
Yes, yes.
Okay. We have introduced GM to women cooperative in order to enhance the value of the engagement in the rice value chain. Since the introduction of GM parboiling technology in Mali, we have trained in the AICCRA intervention area 260 women so far. As you are aware of the GM technology, GM is a gender and climate sensitive technology. Since parboiling is the women-dominated activity, GM technology help women to reduce traditional parboiling process, which is laborious and safe, inefficient, require large amount of firewood, water, and will lower quality of parboiled rice, with the goal of transforming rice into high value added product. The cooperative Badia established a rotative schedule to optimize utilization of the GM. Can you, s'il te plaît? Okay. 6 are organized to parboil 75 bags of the rice per week. In addition, members use smallest kits, enabling them to parboil 180 kg of rice per day from their home. As such, cooperative can parboil 40 tons of rice per week. The cooperative gain additional income through the sale of biochar, a byproduct of the parboiling process using ash. The group can also transform rice into different local products such as chips, couscous, juka, that are consumed locally or exported. The cooperative also offer parboiling services to consumer and trader. Even tomorrow we'll have the beneficiary of from different cooperatives. They will come and train other women who are not who did not benefit the kids. Okay, this year we target women groups who are in the seed production in our project area. During the baseline study of the AICCRA project, the study revealed that the rural community in Mali and women in particular face difficulty in accessing good quality seed and are unaware of variety that resist to the effect of climate change. In response to this constraint, Africa Rice through the project AICCRA supply basic seed variety to 8 group of women and youth seed producers. These variety were chosen by the cooperative according to the need of the community. They are resistant to the local ecology and climate. This will enable them to sell the improved variety of seed to the community and avoid buying seed from unknown source. This variety contribute to improving local production through their high yield. They are appreciated for several reasons, including their resistance to climate variability, their profitability, and their non-requirement for the use of lot of fertilizer, as well as consumer appreciation. Farmers affirm that seed production has helped to improve their rice growing techniques. This activity not only benefit the community, but also the seed producer. They have reported that significant profit from seed production. The cooperative in one of our area, for example, produce the seed and deposit the profit in the cooperative account. The profit is then used to buy fertilizer and to support member and other women farmers in the village in the form of credit, reimbursable after the harvest. Other cooperatives also reported that they are getting involved in small ruminant with benefit gain from seed production. As of today, they sell a kilo of seed for 500 CFA against 250 CFA for paddy. This clearly proves that efficient seed production increases women's income and ensure food security. More than 8 surrounding villages buy improved seed from a cooperative, including rice grower in the village itself. Supporting women group in seed production by providing them with climate adapted seed is one of the best strategies to enhance production. This will facilitate the availability of the quality of improved seed by the community in general and women in particular. It also contributes to the empowerment of women group and promote sustainable rice production at the same time to improve their revenue, assure food security in Mali. Therese, next slide, please. I will share with you some quotes from the beneficiary of seed production. I will share 2 quotes. According to Ramata Traore from a cooperative in Blenjo, she said that seed production has increased our income and inspire our young girl from the rural exodus. Women used to send the girl to the capital to do helping some work, and that will enable them to buy their marriage trousseau. Now they help us in our activity, which now enable us to buy the marriage trousseau with the gain profit from seed production. Another woman said that before we used to buy seed that were not good quality in other locality. Since we are now involved in seed production, we can be sure that farmers are using quality of seed which are tolerant to climate shock. Thank you. This is the end of my presentation. Your question and contribution are welcome.
Thank you so much, Fatoumata. Thank you so much. Sophia, may you please present for Ghana?
Faustina is with us. So,
she's there. Okay.
Yeah, she just came on, so she can share her slides and present.
Please confirm if you can see my slides.
Yes.
Okay,
Just
let
put
me
in
put it
presentation mode.
mode. Okay, so apologies for coming really late. I was in another event, so I just jumped in here when I closed. So I'm going to highlight success stories from AICCRA Ghana and how we are hoping to integrate the successes that we have made into our 2025 plans. So in AICCRA Ghana, we have worked around 3 major crops in the last 4 years for women. And so what the approach is that every year try to build on the intervention that we started with women so that we can deliver what we call a solution or a bundled solution for women, especially in the crops that they dominate. So we have worked on groundnut, cowpea, and sweet potato, orange flesh sweet potato. So this is our intervention on groundnut. So we started with the intervention on groundnut by just providing the seasonal forecast for women because they are the major producers in groundnuts and they need to produce the groundnut, cultivate the groundnut earlier enough so that they can still make time to join maize production, which is the main crop for the household. So in the first couple of years, we were just sending them the seasonal forecast for them to plan the groundnut production. And then we also send them the post-harvest advisories for them to store their groundnuts because the groundnut is usually used in the following year in the lean season. So building on our experiences from this year, 2024, we developed this composite solution for women groundnut farmers, which included the seasonal forecast that they use to plan the cropping calendar. We also promoted rotation with cereal because many of these women had either small pieces of land or they didn't have land at all. So when we promoted rotation with cereal, then the women could still use the land that was available within the household that is used for maize production to also produce their groundnuts. And then we also implemented agro-advisories around soil fertility management. Groundnut production is usually concentrated in the northern parts of Ghana, but over there, the soils have become very thin and fertility is an issue. So we have been promoting agro-advisories around soil fertility management. And then we also introduced what we call the roller planters. So they are these small handheld planters that allow women to plant their crops in rows. We introduced it to them. And then we also added what we call the smart seeds. It's really nice to hear Fatumata talking about the community or the cooperative seed producers. So in Ghana, we don't have a lot of women groups that are producing seeds. So what we did was to use the existing women's group, especially the VSLA groups that we have been working with in the last 3 years, to train them and supply them with foundation seeds so that they populate the seeds. But at this stage, they are populating the seeds to use among themselves. We are now in the process of getting them certified so that the seeds that they are producing, they can commercialize it and become certified seed producers. So the groundnut intervention included all these components. And we had also learned in the last 4 years about using multiple channels to scale these innovations to women. And so in all the communities, we established demonstration in 45 new communities that we were going in this year. And in the old communities, we just rekindled the demonstration plots that we had, and those were 20 old communities. So the 20 old communities plus the 45 new communities, we had 65 community hubs that we demonstrated the groundnut intervention there. And we also used digital channels, basically voice messages to send to the women who had access to mobile phones. And we also use radio extension. And in the communities that we worked in, we used the women's groups there to form listener groups for them to access these extension services on radio. And we also did a lot of in-person trainings of these women group. A lot of the trainings around the production of the seeds, we did it through the women's groups. And so by the end of this year, in the northern savannah zone of Ghana, our intervention on groundnut had reached about 5,000 women. And a few analysis that we did shows that about 1,700 of them had taken it up. at least they had access to the seeds they had populated themselves, and they were also accessing the agro advisories, and especially the cropping calendar allowed them to be able to plan their groundnut production in time so that it doesn't interfere with household maize production where their labor was very much needed. So the second intervention is how do I move? Okay. The second intervention is the smart cowpea production, and it's similar to the groundnut intervention. I think in the early years of AICCRA, we were concentrated more on cowpea because it is very strategic for women. But we realized that the production of cowpea kept going down because of the incidence of pests and diseases. So although we had promoted the practices of rotation with cereal, we had to find ways of dealing with the challenge of pest and disease, which was the major problem for women who were producing cowpea. And we realized that there are two major ways to deal with that. One is from the seeds that the women were using. So they had to use seeds that were pest and diseases tolerant, but these were not readily available because of the challenges of accessing the seeds on the market. And then we also had to find a way of combating the incidence of nematodes, which was a major challenge for women cowpea farmers. So we had to promote this dual purpose cowpea seeds among women. And this in the first year, we were sourcing it in the market, but the credit conditions were not very favorable for women. So starting from this year, we had also built the capacities of the women to produce these seeds themselves. And then what we have done in the last 3 years is to train these women to locally produce neem extracts for nematode control. And this year we have had evidence of some women's group already producing these neem extracts and commercializing it in small quantities in their local area. And we also introduced the roller planters in the cowpea bundle. And we use the same channels of dissemination for the cowpea as well, except that in the cowpea, we focused in northern Ghana, but also the transition between the forest and the savanna zones where there's a lot of cowpea production. And our intervention reached over 10,000 farmers. And an assessment we did showed that about 50% of the women that we reached had taken up the cowpea production. And then the third one is the climate smart sweet potato production. So when AICCRA started, sweet potato, especially the orange flesh sweet potato variety, had been promoted by the government of Ghana and a lot of international NGOs in Ghana. So a lot of women were already into the production of sweet potato, but there was the challenge of the viability of the vines that they were using. And also the major challenge that they were also facing was the incidence of sweet potato weevils. And so AICCRA came in to find solutions to the viability of the vines and also the biological control of the weevils. So the consistent thing in all our intervention is to always disseminate the seasonal forecast for farmers, for women to plan the cropping calendar, because the climate keeps getting variable by the day. So it's a fundamental component in all our activities. So for sweet potato as well, the components of our solution included the seasonal forecast. It included organic amendment to soil. Here, they also used the neem-based extract. But what they did was when they finished making the ridges and they are about to put the vine in the soil, they just open up the soil and spread the neem leaf extract, which is basically a powder. They spread it in the soil before they plant the vines. And by doing that, they were able to control the incidence of weevils by about 40%. And we also introduced onion border. So after every 3 beds, they plant onion in the middle of the sweet potato beds. And by using onion as a border, it also controlled the incidence of weevils. And so we promoted the biological control of weevils together with the organic amendment. And this year, what we realized was after we had promoted these things and the sweet potato production had gained grounds, there was a challenge with the market because the orange flesh sweet potato variety is quite soft compared to the old varieties that they produce. And so it's not the usual variety that you could easily put it on fire and boil or fry and eat. And so the market options were very low for the variety. So we started introducing processing of orange flesh sweet potato into the communities to open up a lot of market for the produce that the women had cultivated. And so we trained the women on adding the orange flesh sweet potato to cassava to make a popular cassava flakes in Ghana that we call gari. It's also popular in Nigeria. So they add the OFSP to it to make a fortified gari. They also add the OFSP to making baby foods. We also train them on adding the OFSP into flour to make a composite flour for pastries. And we also train them to add the OFSP to yogurts that the women were making. And by opening up these training opportunities, we saw that it opened up a market for the OFSP. And again, here we use the same channels for the trainings of OFSP, except that here we didn't rely so much on radio. And the OFSP bundle, which was implemented in the coastal savannah zone of Ghana, reached about 2,000 women. And here we also have evidence that about 50% of the women were actively taking up the intervention that we rolled out. So for 2025, we've done a lot of work, and we are sort of closing the AF in 2025. So we have been discussing options of really ensuring that the work we have done would be sustainably integrated into ongoing efforts within the country. And so for 2025, the whole AICCRA Ghana, we are sort of taking a little bit step backwards and then allowing the private sector to lead in the uptake or the dissemination and scaling of our innovations. So we have 4 thematic bundles that are being scaled, and we've already recruited SMEs that have come together in a form of partnership to scale these innovations. So what we have done is to integrate the interventions that we have done with women, their sustainability dimensions into the accelerator program that we are running. So for the bundle 1, which is on climate smart integrated pest and disease management, we want to use that bundle to open up a market for the biopesticides that the women's groups are producing. So the companies are scaling the use of biopesticides, and we are connecting the companies to the women's group that are producing the neem leaf extract. The active ingredients can be found in the seed, but then it requires a bit of some technology to be able to crush the seed and extract the oil from it. So the companies are going to work with this women's group to crush the oil and get the active ingredient from the seeds, and then they will supply it directly to the companies as suppliers of biopesticides so that the companies will scale it. In the second bundle, it's being led by Yumi, solar irrigation. We have struggled to do a lot of interventions around vegetables because vegetable production is concentrated in northern Ghana, and the climate there keeps getting erratic by the day. So one of the bundles that Yumi is leading is to scale solar irrigation to women farmers. And this is solely targeted at women farmers. The target is to reach 15,000 farmers within 2025. And for the bundle 3, which is smart seeds and market system, here we are hoping that the women that we have capacitated to be able to produce the seeds would be connected to the companies that are scaling the seeds as commercial seed producers. And then these companies will then source the foundation seeds and give it to women on credits. Then the women would populate the seeds, sell it back to the company, and then part of it will be used to pay back the credits that the women got from the company. And we are hoping to do this for cowpea and granite initially, but there's also a potential for these women to become certified seed producers for maize, but it requires quite some capacities as well. And then for the bundle 4, which is smart production and soils, it's targeted on sustainable mechanization. And so here we are focusing on rolling out an intervention that would make sure that a lot of women's group would be able to access small tools, including roller planters, but also weeders, so that it reduces the drudgery within the production of the crops that they are involving. So basically, these are some of the interventions that we have done, the range, and we know that for many women, they are highlighting a lot of the changes that have come into their production, especially the reduction of pests and diseases, but also the dissemination of the seasonal forecast that allows them to plan their cropping calendar so that their autonomous crop production doesn't affect the household crop production. We haven't done yield analysis and income analysis yet, so we are not able to say concretely that incomes have improved for women, but there are a lot of anecdotal evidence that women are sharing their videos and stories with us, highlighting improvements in the output that they are seeing from their farms. So I would end here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Faustina. At this time, is it okay if I ask you, Dr. Meiga, to present for Ghana? I have their presentation. Or I can present for Zambia and AICCRA. That will be our last one from the AICCRA side. And the Ghana one, I think it's also the last one from the FSRP side.
She did tell me earlier, Dr. Finda, that her connection is better, so perhaps we can try with her again.
Oh, okay, okay.
Dr. Finda, would you like to present are you able to present your presentation now? I sent her a message, so maybe Therese, go ahead and see if she answers me. Maybe she can do it in a few minutes. Hello, yeah. Therese, we can't hear you. Are you speaking? Therese, you're muted.
Sorry, I didn't know I was muted.
You need to start over.
Okay. Okay, so here's the presentation from the Gender and Social Inclusion team under AICCRA, led by Evaristo Mapedza, who is not able to join us today. So the achievements that have been done in Zambia is that they have done some documentation on the bundles that are being promoted in Zambia. And they have also been editing videos, which they are also planning to finalize this month. And among these videos, they have uploaded the achievements on aquaculture, where they're promoting the participation of women in aquaculture. And these are on YouTube, available on YouTube. And they have also uploaded a video on women's participation on solar irrigation. Another video is on participation of men and women in seed systems, value chain, and also the best in class. This is under what they call the Zawad. They are promoting women in research and development. So under aquaculture, as a continuation of their achievements, there's a blog that has also been published. And the title of the blog, which is available on the website, is the private sector is helping to scale the adoption of climate-smart aquaculture in Zambia, boosting women's role on one pond at a time. And this has been published and it's available using that link, which we'll share. And they have also submitted a manuscript on gendered access and use of climate information services and climate-smart agriculture technologies. That's the implication on agri-food systems in Zambia. So, in summary, their successes are in the YouTube videos that are also available in the website. In the presentation, once we click, they are free to be viewed. But they also said we should talk about their plans for the coming year. They are planning to promote the climate information services and climate smart agriculture technologies that are being used by women and youth. So they are planning to do a gendered study of technology adoption and non-adoption. They want to understand the barriers that will help us to increase the further adoption in an inclusive manner. And also the other plans for the coming year are on gender and social inclusive scaling, gender scaling readiness. This is to build on the gender and social inclusion scaling framework. They want to see how different approaches are being used in scaling up of the gender smart agriculture technologies using different scaling approaches. So this is also a proposed study. And another plan, they have a Zawad, that's the Zambian Women in Agriculture and Research, where they're promoting women in agriculture and research in Zambia. So it's Zawad because of the Z, the Zambia aspect. So they're planning to have women in leadership and agriculture research and agriculture extension, targeting on capacity development for increased use of climate information services and climate smart agriculture. So they want to promote women's leadership in the coming year. And also they're planning to conduct a study on intersectionality to see the relevance and in the use of climate information services and climate smart agriculture technologies. That's how are we promoting the adoption of climate smart agriculture technologies and climate information services other than targeting women? That's going beyond women. Who else is being targeted in terms of age, sex, and also disability and education? And they're also planning to promote the collective action using the cooperatives and also linking this with the work that IITA is doing, because the IITA has a program on youth entrepreneurs, agripreneurs. So they want to link their work with the IITA on farmer youth program. And they're also planning to do a study on the youth uptake of climate information services and climate smart agriculture technologies, and how this will inform further uptake. All these are studies, the gender and policies in Zambia. What are the opportunities for further increasing uptake of climate information services and climate smart agriculture? But what was highlighted by Evaristo was that the current challenge is funding. So these are just proposed, but depending on funds availability, at the moment they have limited funding. They don't have funding, or they have limited funding. So these are just their proposed plans. Thank you so much. This is it from Zambia.
Therese, I think Dr. Finda is ready. If you can share your screen, share her presentation.
Okay. The one for Dr. Finda is already in Ghana, no? Of so many. Dr. Finda.
Share this with you. Yes.
Yes.
I've opened a lot of PowerPoint presentations. So the one written.
It's FSRP. The heading is FSRP.
Oh, okay. This one. 2 key successes. Okay.
Yes.
Hello, Therese.
Yeah, it's done. All it's opening. It had closed. So I opened again from the email.
But I feel like
It's open, it has opened. Sorry?
I feel
Can
like
I
Finda
go
has a
ahead
problem.
whilst you listen to save time?
Let's try.
I can share too from my side if you'd like. I have it here also.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, please.
Okay.
It's slow to download from my side.
All right. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. There were slight mistakes. I tried to do the corrections, but it's not reflected there. While states them as I go ahead. I said we did 2 key activities because all the other activities will be under the various components. So especially component 2 and component 3, which is the integrated landscape management and the agribusiness components. But
Dr. Finda.
I
Already the first
really
major
show you.
activity
She's having a problem. So
was the
now,
seed
instead of wasting time, it's okay.
value chain
So you
training.
can share the presentation with all of you and then move on. Maybe to
actually adult news, Makini and Bo, the youths, male youths, adults. The internet is the problem as a nation.
Finda, we understand, and really, we apologize. We know it's going to be, we know that we are faced with challenges. So I think it's okay. We share the presentations with the group. I think it's okay. I will give the floor to Therese so that we start the discussion, question and answer. So Finda, it's okay. We'll share your presentation with, thank you so much for the effort. Thank you.
Okay.
Over to you, Therese.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mega, and thank you, Dr. Finda, for your presentation. At this moment, we are inviting any comments or any questions based on the presentations that have been shared, that have been presented today. Maybe we start with, we go in order, the one with from Kenya. Do you have any comments or questions? The one by Renee. What about booking? Or we just go, we'll be mentioning the one we want to ask. So it's open for any questions or any comments for any presentation that you want to ask about.
Yes, I think it's better to open.
Yeah, it's just open.
Maybe you will just have to mention the countries and the presentation.
Yes, yes.
Question, comments?
I will jump in. I have a question. This is a general question for the projects about food processing. For example, the soy, but the other crops as well. How was the technology for the processing paid for? How was it obtained? I think in AICCRA, we are facing the problem that the communities have a low level of resources available to buy technologies. So how is that side of the food processing handled in the FSRP countries?
Thank you so much for the question. Maybe I would like Togo to start. Aledi, tu es là? Allez-y. Togo. Est-ce que le Togo est là? Let me try to connect with her, and then we come back.
Oui, oui, allô?
Oui, tu es
Oui,
là,
allô?
c'est toi qu'on appelle. Il y a une question ici.
Oui.
Est-ce que tu as suivi la question de
Non,
Dr.
non, non, j'ai pas saisi ma connexion faute là.
Okay, Sophia, excuse me, can you come again on the question? She was not there.
Allô?
Sophia, please,
Yes,
can you?
sorry.
Yes.
My question is for food processing. We've seen some examples of food processing, the soy, but there was something also in Burkina Faso, one of the projects. And I'm wondering, how are the technologies for the food processing accessed and how are they paid for? How do the women, or how are the women's groups able to afford those technologies?
OK, ce que Sophie est en train de demander pour le Burkina aussi, en fait, for your information, definitely food processing with climate smart, gender sensitive, and nutrition sensitive is very key in FSRP. So all of the countries are going to do that. So now, ce que Dr. Sophie est en train de demander, les technologies de transformation agroalimentaire dont vous parlez à travers les activités de transformation agroalimentaire. Si je prends le cas du Togo, vous avez montré comment avec le soja et d'autres produits agroalimentaires à haute valeur nutritionnelle. Donc, la transformation se fait avec des technologies, n'est-ce pas? Ces technologies-là, comment vous les mettez qui sont à la disposition des groupes bénéficiaires? Ces technologies-là, c'est vous qui achetez ces technologies pour les mettre à leur disposition? Ou comment l'accès est fait? Vous mettez ces technologies à leur disposition. Pour le renforcement des capacités, on a vu, hein, vous avez renforcé les capacités. Mais les technologies, même en tant que telles, parce que si on doit mettre les technologies à échelle, si on doit les mettre à échelle, est-ce que ce sont ces groupements-là qui vont eux-mêmes acheter ces technologies ou bien c'est le programme qui va mettre à leur disposition? Moi aussi, je vais contribuer à répondre à la question, mais je veux que vous commenciez déjà à répondre. Allez-y.
Oui, ok. Et par rapport à la question sur l'acquisition des technologies, excusez-moi, je suis à une réunion là, qui est un peu bruyante. Par rapport à l'acquisition de ces technologies, nous avons d'abord à travers la division nutrition. La division nutrition a identifié un certain nombre de technologies qui sont accessibles au niveau de ces zones rurales-là, sur lesquelles on a donné des différentes formations. Vous avez la patate douce à chair orange, vous avez le moringa et puis vous avez le soja. C'est sur disons, sur ces trois éléments-là que ces femmes-là ont été formées sur la transformation du soja en viande, et ce qu'on appelle wagash chez nous, et puis sur le lait de soja. Ensuite, pour la patate douce à chair orange, elles ont été formées sur la transformation de cette patate douce à chair orange en jus d'orange et comment est-ce que mélanger la farine de la PDCO avec le maïs, qui est très nutritif pour les enfants, ainsi que la bouillie à base de soja mélangée avec comment on appelle, du moringa. Et donc, ces différents éléments que je viens de citer, le soja, le moringa, pour la plupart des zones dans lesquelles nous avons fait les différentes formations, le moringa se pousse pratiquement dans ces zones-là très facilement. Il suffit d'avoir les semences et de semer. Donc, pour le cas de la PDCO, effectivement, il y a eu ce souci-là où, après la formation, le renforcement des capacités, les femmes se sont butées à des difficultés d'obtenir la PDCO pour elles-mêmes transformer au sein du ménage pour utilisation ou même pour transformation et vente. Et donc, ce qui a fait que la division nutrition qui a fait cette formation a sollicité l'appui du FSRP à fournir des boutures de PDCO à ces différentes femmes-là. Et donc, ce qui a été fait cette année, nous avons pu recenser l'effectif de femmes qui ont exprimé le besoin de disposer des lianes ou des boutures de PDCO. Nous avons demandé à l'ITRA et l'Institut togolais de recherche agronomique qui a produit certaines variétés performantes de PDCO qu'on a mis à disposition au mois d'août à ces femmes-là. Voilà sur les quelques différentes technologies, ce que nous sommes en train de faire. Maintenant, par rapport au moringa aussi, il est prévu dans le cadre de l'installation des jardins de cases, l'accompagnement de ces ménages-là à la mise en place des jardins de cases, à leur fournir ces semences de moringa qu'elles pourront semer pour avoir ces plants-là pour usage ou utilisation pour les transformations. Voilà un peu ces quelques éléments que je pourrais apporter. Merci.
Okay, merci beaucoup, Aledi. Okay, now let me try also to contribute. For your information, okay, what Aledi just said, there are some local easy access, where with easy access to some technology, local technology that work to scale so that the communities can get access. But for your information, it is very important. You see, under component 3 of FSRP, this is all about, or one of the key activities is the scaling of, and we are specific, climate smart, nutrition sensitive, and gender smart technology. And we tell you what is gender smart technology, what is nutrition sensitive technology. Even this potato, orange flat potato is part of the technology, and we have it in the regional database of CORAF. Number 2, very important information. And I think Sophia and the AICCRA team, you attend, even the Senegal team, you attended already a meeting. We just finished with the meeting in Togo. This year was in Togo. Maybe just some weeks ago, we were in Togo for the meeting. Meeting is an opportunity to learn from technology across the region. So now if you take food processing technology, you will know what are the technologies we are talking about, what are these technologies developed under other research projects, and then how we, CORAF, can help to transfer the technology for scaling. This is what we are doing. So now, even this meeting, I struggle to have the gender specialists of FSRP to attend, and they attended this meeting to know what the technology are and how they can also select this technology to transfer it in the countries. So according to the process, now country, and we started at the beginning of FSRP. Country already, we ask countries to list the technology they need to see transfer in the technology in their countries. And CORAF, this is the work of CORAF, to facilitate the transfer of the technology once they select the technologies. So these are in the entire value chain, and value chain technologies are in the entire value chain, like for production, for processing, even for marketing. We do have it. We have a regional database on that. So now, to come to your question, Sophia, now they will list the technology on food processing. Togo will say, okay, I saw this technology in Mali. During the meeting, I realized that FSRP Sierra Leone has this technology. I want it. And we are the one CORAF who will help them to get the technologies. And this is for free, for information. It is for free. So it's like when they list the technology, we as CORAF facilitate the transfer. It is for free. Now they will make it available to the community, to the target people. This is for free. Now, to end with your question in terms of contribution to answer, the matching grants, we are saying once you transfer the technology to the community, to scale the technologies for greatest impact in terms of enhancing food productivity, but also for business development, for empowerment, please provide them with matching grants. So you see, it is a systemic really process. So like FSRP Togo will help to transfer the technology, they can also rely on local technologies that can be easy, with easy access to the community, but they can also transfer the technology from a country to another one, and CORAF is the one facilitating the transfer. Once they have it, then they will work to put at scale these technologies with matching grants and other resources like training, access to extension services, and of course, all of these services are free. Thank you. Over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much for the explanation. Is there any other question?
Sophia, please, did we manage to respond to your question, or you want additional information I can share with you maybe after the webinar?
Yes, yes. No, in general, you did manage. I received some very interesting replies to the questions. We are thinking about integrating more specifically the food processing into AICCRA 3. We're starting the planning for the AICCRA 3, and this kind of discussion with the FSRP is really helpful for us to see where we can go forward. Yeah. So I may ask you some more about this later as well.
Yes, please. Yes, please. I will share you. We have a lot of material and information around it because we don't have time to go into in deep some of the issues. But let us, after the meeting, have a kind of meeting. Why not to discuss? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you.
Mine is a comment. I think I was impressed with Dr. Finda's presentation. They were capturing the youth. Yeah, which is most of the times it's difficult. Like on AICCRA side, we are capturing women, but the youth, it's difficult to know the numbers. So I was just impressed with the way you are implementing AICCRA. I mean FSRP. That you are also capturing in the presentation the number of men, women, and also the youth in terms of male as well as female.
Yes, thank you very much. With FSRP, we have a specific percentage. It has to be at least 45% of women, 40% of youth. So it's compulsory.
Yes. Yes.
And now we have a lot of youth going into innovation technologies. Even recently, we just gave an award under the Component 3 award to agripreneurs. I just shared the information with you, Maiga, on WhatsApp.
Is there any other question? Okay, so I hand over now to Dr. Maiga for the way forward.
Terence, sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
I was just telling that to respond to your comments, actually the age category for any FSRP activity is compulsory. For gender, it is even at least for women target at least 40%, and for youth 35%. So you will see that even the other presentations, if it's not there, they have it. They will tell you this for these activities, how many men, women, and youth we targeted. So for us, it is really compulsory.
Okay, thank you so much. Do you have are there any other questions or comments? So, Dr. Maker, I hand over to you on the way forward.
Okay. Honestly, I want to thank you, Dr. Sophia, yourself, the team that we are. I'm very happy. Okay, we are trying and struggling to implement a recommendation we had from the World Bank, which is to team up, to pull synergy. And the aim is just to avoid duplication of activities. Because as we all know, FSRP and AICCRA are both World Bank supported programs coming with strong gender action plans. For FSRP, we have gender action plan at the regional and the country level. So now it's like, instead of duplicating activities, because I kept saying that I'm speaking from experience, duplication, working in isolation, it doesn't help. We need to put synergy. We need to team up. So I'm really expecting to see this partnership, gender partnership between AICCRA and FSRP getting more stronger, as I believe is going to help all of us. I think during this webinar, we all learn what is AICCRA doing, what is FSRP doing in the countries, and you will see that all of these programs aims to strengthen food system resilience. So I think it's important for us to be together, because together we are more stronger. So I'm expecting, of course, that we continue to implement the gender action plan. Because for your information, for those who don't know, in this partnership, gender partnership, AICCRA, FSRP, we came up with a gender action plan on how we can work together on activities that we should implement together to meet the objective. And then this webinar is part of these activities in the gender action plan. The gender action plan is coming with capacity built on women's leadership in climate research, coming with scaling of climate smart, nutrition sensitive and gender sensitive technologies. So a lot of activities, very relevant actions that we can implement together. So I'm very happy. On behalf of this team, I would like to thank you so much for allocating your time. We really appreciate. We really appreciate. And we are expecting to continue this partnership and get it more stronger. Thank you so much. Vraiment, merci beaucoup. Merci beaucoup. I'm very happy today. Thank you so much. Dr. Sophia, Therese, thank you for everything. Thank you for the efforts. I appreciate. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. Dr. Sophia.
Thank you very much. I'd also like to stress for AICCRA as well the value of this partnership and the exchange of information. We are all working together in the West Africa region and in the East Africa region, some of us. And we may also make some connections with the FSRPs in the East Africa, but we very much appreciate your sharing with us your projects and your successes and enlightening us as to how you are accomplishing the great things that the FSRP program is doing. And we look forward to learning more from you and to sharing with you some of the successes we've had as we go ahead. Now, one of the things that we did plan to do is we will produce an info note or a small working paper from this webinar that will have all of the success stories included. So we will be back in touch with you and we'll ask you to send us, a half a page or a page of writing on these case studies.